Hey guys, it's Tom from Tentworld. Today behind me we have the OZtrail Fast Frame Headland 10-person tent. Stay with me and I'll show you around the features. So this is a spacious 10-person tent and it is actually separated into two separate rooms, which I'll show you later on when we go inside. But we'll have a look at some of the features on the exterior first. So looking at the fly first, the fly obviously covers the whole tent. The fly itself is 3000mm waterhead rated, so that's just going to give you peace of mind as it has great weather protection. You'll notice off to the side here we've got these two large entryways, and there's also another two entry points on this side and that end of the tent as well. And then behind me on the back, we've got two large windows. So all these doors and these windows can obviously be opened up, create great airflow and ventilation when you're inside during the night. Another great feature of this tent is you can set up some of these sides as awnings. And as you can see with these awnings, it's going to create more space and it's going to give you some extra shade as well. With the tent itself, you get given 6 poles, so you can choose how you want to set up your awnings. As you can see today, we've set up the awnings along this side, but there are 6 poles, so you could do this one. You could also do the one behind me, or if it's windy and you don't want any awnings, you can obviously have these all down. We've still got a lot more features to cover, so let's take a look inside. So here we are inside the 10-person tent. Now, as you can see, this is actually a dividing wall in front of me. We have got it open right now, so you can have it open and just use this as one big space, or if you want that extra comfort and privacy, this wall here zips up and you can have 2 separate rooms. And the handy thing with that is also each room has its own entryway. So both these rooms are basically identical to each other and they have been carefully thought out with great little features. Like each room has pockets up in the corners and along some of the walls. Very handy to pop any of your belongings in. We've also got mesh windows off to the side and behind me, and above me there's a mesh roof that goes along the whole tent. This is great for those warmer months as it promotes airflow and ventilation, and it's also a really good insect repellent. Over here in the corner we've also got a zippered power port cable access point. So that means you can run a cable or power lead from the outside into the tent, zip it up, so then no insects or bugs are going to get through that hole. Up above me, we've also got some lantern hooks across this room and that room. Great for some extra lighting if you want to, or you can hang anything else off there as well. The flooring in this tent is an ultra tough PVC poly-Oxford floor, so that's just going to provide durability in most terrains. Another really handy feature in this tent is you've got access to 250 Lumos dimmable strip lights. Now these are actually controlled separately for each room as well. So you've got a dimmer switch over here on this room, and then over in this corner, you have a dimmer switch for control of that side of the room. In my hand, I'm holding the battery pack. Just note the batteries aren't included. You need 4 D batteries. Once you've got them in here, you simply just plug the USB in, and then there is a nice little storage pocket where you can pop your battery pack in here, and then you have full control of your lights. So here it is, all packed away. I'm going to show you how to set it up. Packed away like this in the carry bag. It comes in at a weight of about 25 kilos. So first thing we want to do is obviously open up our carry bag and we'll take everything out. So in the carry bag, we've got 3 things. We've got the pegs, the guy ropes, the poles, and then our tent and fly. We're gonna pop our pegs and poles off to the side and I'll show you how to set up the tent first. Once we take off these straps, just make sure you pop them back with your carry bag, and we're gonna unroll everything that we've got here. You'll see the fly is on the outside and we've got the tent in the middle. Grab the tent and we'll just pop the fly off to the side because we don't need that just yet. It is a fast frame setup, so the tent itself is actually really easy to set up and it can be done with one person. I'll show you that now. So you'll notice all of our legs are up this end. We're just going to start to fold everything out, start to find our corners of the tent. As you can see, we've started to bring it all out. It's starting to make shape a little bit. We just want to find the center of the pole, which is this biggest, chunkiest one right here. We hold that up, then we'll be able to grab these ones either side of it, and they're going to pop up into place. So once you've got those ones up, we'll go ahead and do all the 6 legs around, pop out these corners, and start to lift them up until they click into place. It was as easy as that. That took me about 30 seconds by myself. So that's the actual main frame of the tent setup. The last thing we want to do for the tent is just peg it all out. So once you find your spot where you want to put your tent, gonna pull those legs out and peg them as we go. We've got it all pegged out, and as you can see, the tent has really started to take shape now. That's the easiest part. That was great. The next bit is the fly. Fortunately, you will need 2 people for the fly, and it does take a little bit longer. So once you grab your friend, unfold the fly and simply just gonna lay it over the top. So once you've got your fly set into place, just like this, we're gonna go ahead, unzip all of our corner areas because you'll notice there's Velcro straps throughout all of it, and that's gonna attach it to the main frame of the tent itself. So I'll start over here. Gonna go ahead and unzip this side first, so we have easy access to the frame of the tent. And then once we're inside, we'll see our Velcro straps here. There's a couple on each of the tent legs. So I'll just go around and attach all of them. Once you've done the last one, you'll also notice there's a clip down in these corners. Attach them, tighten them up, and then we'll do the same thing on the next legs. So once you've got it all attached to the frame itself, we're gonna go ahead and peg out what we need to do. So I'll start here in this corner. Now we'll keep doing the same on the other side. We're not gonna peg our front ones out because we're gonna use this as our awning, and I'll show you how to set up that awning. Everything else we're gonna peg out nicely. So the last thing we're gonna do is your choice, but we're gonna set up our awning. So you can choose to have it all down and you can peg it out. You can choose to perhaps just roll these windows up and hook them up like this, or you can choose to have awnings along here, along this end, or along that other side end. So we're gonna do a nice big awning along this side here. So in your peg bag here, we've got some extra guy ropes. We're gonna grab out 3 of them. So just make sure as we're doing all 3, we're gonna keep this middle one zipped up together. So we'll start down on this corner here. We're gonna attach our guy rope to it. And once that's set, we'll peg it into the ground and put the pole up. So we've got our guy ropes in, we've pegged all 3 of them out, and we've just given them a little bit of tension. It's gonna help when we go to put our poles in. So we'll reach into our pole bag and they easily just click into place. 1, 2, and 3. Gonna do is just grab our hook it up into this little gold loop up here, stand it up, and we've done that just about perfectly. We don't need to tighten it too much else. Go do the same on the next 2 ones as well. Get to our 3rd one, we do the same thing, pop it through the hook, keep it up there, and then we'll just tighten this guy rope as needed. And there we have our tent all set up, ready to go. I'm gonna show you now how to pack it down. So when it comes to packing down the tent, the first thing you wanna do is, if you've got your awning set up, you obviously wanna take them down. So I'll start with this corner first. I'm just gonna take the pole out. Gonna go ahead and take the other 3 poles out and pop them straight in the pole bag so we don't lose them. Now we've got our 3 guy ropes that go along with that awning, so we'll take out the pegs and undo the guy ropes as well. Definitely a handy thing to keep your peg bag close by so we don't lose any pegs. As soon as you're done with them, pop them straight in the bag. Once all the pegs are out, we're just gonna undo our guy ropes, roll them up nicely, and they also go back in the peg bag as well. The next thing we wanna do is go ahead and actually detach the fly from the main frame itself, just with these Velcro straps. They're all around the tent, so we'll just make sure we undo all of them. And also don't forget to unclip it from down here in the corners. The last thing we wanna do before we can take our fly off is go ahead and zip up all of our windows and spots here. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and take out any of those pegs that we have down as well. So we'll zip it up and take out those last pegs. We've got the fly completely detached from the frame, everything's zipped up, and it's good to just slide on off. We've taken the fly off and we've just folded it off to the side here. Now we're gonna get to the main tent itself. The first thing is we're just gonna go around and take out all of our pegs. All the pegs are out, so now we're ready to dismantle the frame. First thing you wanna do is just go ahead and let down all of the legs. So we'll go around the tent and collapse them all down. Now, as you can see, as we're letting these legs down, some of these corners are already starting to go in themselves. If not, just give them a little push in. Once we've done those ones, these are our final ones here on the side. And as you can see, everything's now starting to collapse down just naturally how it should. So we're just bringing all the legs to the same side. They're all coming up this way here. Fold them up, we've got the legs up there. Keep doing that with all your other ones. So now we've got all the legs of the tent up this end and everything's folded in nicely. We're gonna grab the fly and fold it all up together. So as you can see now, we've got our tent all packed down and the fly as well. We folded the fly in half. We're actually gonna put the tent on top of the fly. Before we do that, we just wanna make sure we roll up this tent nice and tight. So we've rolled the tent up as tightly as we can. Gonna pop it on this fly and roll it all up together. So grabbing it all, giving it a nice tight roll. Once we've got it like this, we're gonna go ahead and grab our 2 straps. Pop this strap on underneath. Do the exact same thing on the other side. And then just make sure you go ahead and tighten those straps as much as you can. We're gonna go ahead and pop our tent and fly into the carry bag. And then lastly, before we zip it all up, make sure we grab our poles and our pegs and pop them in here as well. Once we've got everything in there, just gonna go ahead, zip up the carry bag. You'll notice the carry bag itself also has some compression straps, which you can choose to use. And you can tighten them as well if you want to compact it down that little bit extra. And there it is, all packed away, ready to go for your next trip. Thanks for watching, guys, and like always, if you have any questions, please visit one of our 15 store locations across Australia or chat to our online team. Happy camping.